The Jordan Future is back, but not the way that you're thinking. This is actually the Jordan Future Mule. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to WearTesters. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these old man shoes right here. This is the Jordan Future Mule. I am not feeling these, I'll just be perfectly honest, so I'm gonna try to keep my bias out of this. But I swear, my stepdad will wear stuff like this. But yeah, not much is known about these, which is very odd. The product description over at the Nike app simply states, slide into comfort with the Jordan Future Mule. It's a sleek and comfortable slip-on shoe that's solid enough for everyday wear, complete with timeless Jordan ethos. I'm like, what Jordan ethos? The logo? Like, that's like... What? Anyways, this is the box. Nothing fancy. They've even blacked out the Jordan brand logo on there. It's almost like they're embarrassed to release this and call it a Jordan. That's sarcasm, by the way. Just a joke. Probably didn't land, but it's fine. Now, the mule thing is not new to Jordan brand. They actually have what I consider some of my favorite mules of all time. Mules and slip-ons. So way back in the day when I was in high school, I wanted Jordan brand everything. I'm talking socks, shoes, slippers, slides, apparel, all of it. Got none of it, but I wanted it all. I was obsessed with this brand. They even had lifestyle offerings that were made to be worn to and from the court or to and from your sport, whichever one you'd like to choose. And that came in the form of the Air Jordan 15 Mock, or what I like to call the Air Jordan 15 Slip-On. But that's not where they ended. The Air Jordan 17 featured a mule version of the shoe, which I thought was so freaking cool. And yes, I wanted them. I mean, look at them. They just look awesome.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I mean, even recently, they've done the Jordan 1 Mule golf shoe, and I believe there were even the Air Jordan 7 converted into a slip-on or mock shoe as well. The Mule, slip-on, mock, not new to the brand, so this isn't far-fetched or anything like that, but when they talk about ethos, it just doesn't feel like a Jordan, it just feels like an old man shoe. When you look at the toe-down view or the top-down view, they do have this overlay wrap that could be pointing towards one of the coolest team shoes of all time, the Jordan Jumpman Team J, but is it? I don't know. With the product description so vague on the Nike app, I mean, who's to know anything? They don't even tell you what the midsole is made out of. Speaking of which, if you're looking at the outsole, it's mostly the midsole. There is rubber at the toe as well as at the heel, but not enough to make it considered like a durable shoe or anything like that, just enough for, like, you know, anti-slip in certain instances. I will say that the Jordan logo at the toe on the rubber there is pretty cool, as is the heel logo, and that looks like it's pointing towards the Jumpman Team 1. So I guess there are some small Jordan ethos. It's just like really, really minor. The midsole itself just feels like an EVA. When you take out the insole, and yes, there's an insole, it's this guy right here. It's one of the weirdest Dream Cell insoles I've ever seen. It almost looks like just recycled, but it also feels very, very polyurethane based, but it's also very, very thin, like paper thin. So not a lot of comfort or support or sculpting or anything with something like this, but I do think that it's interesting that they're shaped like this. It's very odd, almost foot shaped, but not quite. But when you look at what's under the insole, it's very plain. You got flex grooves, you got some cord out sections. This is for compression. Talk about this for years, and there it is, right, like in action and everything. So yeah, I don't find them to be super comfortable. I just find them to be like fairly neutral, which I do think is a good thing. They don't have Zoom or Air or Cushlon or any of that stuff. It's just like a nice firm regular foam. I will say that Crocs are a little bit more bouncy, but I don't think when you're like wearing athleisure wear, like bouncy is the thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you want bouncy. I will say that the midfoot at the arch is fairly sculpted. You can feel it. So while the insole isn't providing much of anything, the midsole is. So the midsole is really cupping and like kind of like molded to what they think is a foot shape. I don't know if that's neutral enough for everyone. Like if you have flat feet or a high instep or whatever, it could aggravate you, but it just really depends on the person. So you would have to try these on in store just to make sure. I don't know if they're actually in store. I would be surprised if they were, just because I don't know if like this, like if you're putting all of the Jordan product on shelf and then there's this there and it's claiming to be a Jordan, I think that this would have people being like, the upper is interesting though. It's not bad quality. It's not the best or anything. I definitely think that this could have been done in premium fashion. And if not in premium fashion, it could have been done in a stretch material instead of what they actually did use. So I think what they were trying to lean towards was premium, like premium casual. And it's suede and all of that stuff. And that's cool and everything, but it's not stretchy whatsoever. So they're not super easy to slide on and get on your foot and everything, especially with this little weird heel like cup thing. You actually need to use your hands just to make sure that this doesn't fold under your foot. I could see some people just ramming their foot in there and folding this down and stuff. I see people do that with all kinds of shoes. But again, I just don't find it to be like a super easy access type of sneaker or footwear item. I wouldn't call them a sneaker. But even like right here where it does say Jordan, if that piece would have been a more elastic or stretch material, I think that would have been great, just because it would have made it like easier to get into and out of than what they've got going on here. You still could have like used all the same overlays, the suedes and the nubucks and everything like that. Just change this one little piece right there to a stretch material, and that would have made a world of a difference, I think. But yeah, without any real tech or anything, like there's not really much else to talk about. I will say that as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. It looks like that there are 3 colorways currently available. This one is the dark gray with a slight pink accent. I thought that it was the least weird looking of the bunch, but I mean, I could be wrong. It could just be that I'm not quite old enough for this, even though I'm getting there. But who knows? If you like them, I'm happy for you, and here's your review. But with all that being said, what is today's viewer submitted question of the day?
All right, so I'm pulling a fast one, and I am hijacking this question of the day because I saw something on Instagram this morning. It is 2026, and I think most would agree we are living in a time where nostalgia is at an all-time high. And even before then, I think you'd classify yourself as Mr. Nostalgia. All that being said, I just found out they are bringing back the Jordan Futures from 2014, a sneaker we both had and wore pretty heavily. What are your thoughts on this, and do you think this sneaker is worthy of being retro? Do you see people wearing them now? Because I don't think so.
Well, that's a great question, because, you know, this is the new Future, or the Future Mule, and the other Future is the shoe that I was kind of like joking about earlier, being like, this is not that Future, but coincidentally, they are bringing those Futures back in 2027. And to answer simply, like, I feel like those were a time. You know what I mean? Like, the story behind that shoe is so interesting. I was actually in Beaverton in the Michael Jordan building in their offices when that shoe was first, not unveiled, but I saw it there for the first time before it was unveiled. And one of the employees walked by and was wearing them. And I was immediately like, yo, what the heck are those? Like, why are they using the Jordan 11 tooling? That was like sacrilegious at the time. It had this weird reflective woven upper. I believe that they were wearing the one with the bright red outsole and everything like that. And they literally told me the story right then and there, is that that person had actually designed that shoe. And they designed it just kind of like as a joke to themselves. And nobody in the office really believed in the shoe. And so they ended up having a sample made just for them. When it was sent to Beaverton, they started wearing it around and everybody really liked it. And so that ended up forcing them to like be like, yeah, let's put this into production. And so that's how that Jordan Future was actually made. It was something that the designer themselves really had to advocate for themselves. So that's really dope. I think that that's awesome. It's like believing in your own stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that's just so cool. But do they belong in today's sneaker world? I don't know. I'd say like yes and no. Like, this is obviously what people are wanting right now, like Crocs, easy access shoes, comfortable shoes, Asics, New Balance, etc. They don't really want to wear retro Jordans that people deem as heavy bricks. So I don't think that it's a bad thing to put back out the comfort era of their footwear. But are people going to be wanting them the same way that people did when the Future first came out? Because believe it or not, people thought that those were super hot. There was a few colorways that were mad limited and had people like reselling them for crazy prices and stuff. It was nuts. I just don't know if those people still want the shoe today. I'm personally not a fan of the uppers that show like your feet in them. You know what I mean? Like when you're wearing them, it's like, oh yeah, there's your pinky toe sticking out. That's weird. I just think that if you're wearing shoes, wear shoes. And if you want to wear sandals or something, go for it. But like, why would you want to do that when there's like really cool sneakers and stuff? You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, it doesn't compute. And yes, I wore them a lot, mostly because they were really comfortable. And I actually just saw them when I went to Virginia in like this weird colorway that I thought was really cool. So I don't think that they're bad. I just don't know if people like them the way that I like them. Would I still buy them and wear them? That's the thing. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with my Vans and my Jordan 1s. Maybe I would wear the Futures in some minor instances, but like, would I like wear them enough to warrant purchasing a pair? That's probably where it'll be like, maybe not. But maybe you will. I really don't know. I do think that the brand is making a mistake by calling these the Future Mule when that is the Jordan Future, just because of like looking things up, like that whole SEO, search engine optimization thing. Like, you're gonna end up confusing the crap out of Google, mostly because people themselves are confused because they're not sure that this is called the Jordan Future Mule, literally 3 words. And Google's SEO system is not going to know the difference between the two. So you're gonna be searching for one and find the other and vice versa. So naming something like a product is very important, especially for marketing and searching for the item. But again, are people going to be really like beasting over that shoe? I don't know, dude. Like, I don't see it happening, but like I realize as the older I get that I don't actually know anything. So people might end up surprising me. Who knows? Like I could sit here and dog on these all day, but I can guarantee you that there's a bunch of people out there that are gonna be pissed that I did that. And for that, I apologize. I'm just messing around. I don't really care. I mean, bro, if your job was reviewing shoes and this came on your table and you were like, what? Yeah, you'd have fun too, okay? But what about you guys? What do you think about the Jordan Future returning? What do you think about the Jordan Future Mule? Do you think that this is the time for Jordan Brand to pivot and go back into that comfort era of its footwear? Or do you think it's too little too late? Crocs, New Balance, Asics, etc., etc. Do you think that those have already taken a hold of most people? And when Jordan Brand does it, it just looks like they're following trends instead of setting them themselves. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Sound off below in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next one. So until next time, y'all have a good one.